Now, products hazard has often applied to many defendants in the past, and many insurance companies have applied it for all claims. Why? Because most claims in the past, fairly stated, were against manufacturers of products that the claims are not on the premises and the claims were not against the manufacturers while they were using it in their business operations. And let me tell you why the products hazard, generally speaking, would apply to those claims. The products hazard has 3 requirements. If you meet all 3, you're within the products hazard. If you don't meet all 3, you're out because it's a limitation on coverage. Now, I've also seen cases in which insurers are obligated to have the burden of proving that the products hazard applies. The Eagle case from the Fifth Circuit, for example. But you're saying, so what is the product hazard? What are these 3 pictures? Well, the product hazard requires the claim to involve the named insured's product. That's the first picture there, my finding of asbestos dust online. It was quite a search. The next one, it has to be off of the premises that the named insured owns, rents, or controls. So if the business is operating, doing business operations, installing, contracting, and the like, but away from their premises, or they've sold a product away from their premises, and that's where they've been sued, again, you've 2 out of the 3. The third one, the passing the baton, they've relinquished possession of the product. And this is what most operations claims turn upon. If someone's been sued, and the lawsuit says, for example, as I've seen in the New York Powerhouse case transcripts, that I was a Boilermaker and an installation contractor was over my head because you make boilers from the top down, and the dust fell on my head while they were cutting, sawing, and ripping open bags of cement and mixing it and pouring it. That's what the allegations are. The contractor has not relinquished possession, I would argue, of the product at that time. And if you don't meet the 3rd requirement, you're outside of the products hazard. Okay, the completed operations hazard, another way for an aggregate limit to apply. Let's say you have a claim against a contractor or you're representing a contractor and they've been sued. And then, how have they been sued? They installed the product, but when did the claimant get to the site? Were they on the site being exposed allegedly at the time of the installation, or did they come to the site afterwards? If they install the product, the job is all done, someone then shows up and says, after the job was completed, the asbestos dust was flaking, I inhaled fibers then, that I would argue is a completed operation hazard claim. Now, in fairness to my friends on the insurance company side of the table, they would argue that that's correct, but it goes further. And they would say, in a case called Wallace & Gale, I'll show you in a minute, that if the claim starts out as an operations claim, if the claimant says, I was exposed to contracting operations, they were cutting, sawing, and I breathed in the dust, and I got sick, and I had injury. The insurance company, if they do the right thing, would say, okay, fine, that is an operations claim. But they would say in the following year, for the following insurance policy, if that job was done in the following year, your claim transforms into a completed operation hazard claim. So for year 1, no aggregate limit. In year 2, in the second year when the job had already been done, under post-1966 policies, the insurance companies argued that's a completed operations hazard claim. I disagree with that, but you should know about the position.